Well, what are we doing here, man?
I don't know, man. Trying to change the world.
One life at a time. One night shift at a time.
All right, guys. This is the first episode of the Night Shift Report. I'm Ryan. This is Braden.
Hello.
We're just going
We're winging this thing, man.
Yeah.
This is episode 1. We don't know what we're doing, as you can see by the
awkwardness.
It took us however long to get set up, get mics, get everything working right. It's just between that and actually going to work and having to work 12-hour shifts all nights. We're both very tired, so
I guess we'll start off just telling y'all a little bit about ourselves. I've been a nurse a little over 6 years now. It's been a wild journey. I've worked about everything. I've been on med surg floors. I've worked step down and I've worked ICU. Haven't done psych or ER. Never want to, be honest with you.
Not in my plans. I'm the same way. I've worked step down ICU, not as long as Ryan. I'm coming up on about 4 years of experience. I've worked a couple different hospitals, all of them on night shift, and here we are. We're just hanging out, doing our thing.
I've been on night shift my whole 6 years too. They had that first month, they trained us on days, but for the most part, after that, they sent us straight to nights, and no, I don't want to do days. I just can't look back.
You started before COVID, right?
Yeah, I did. I started on the cardiac telemetry unit.
Yeah.
Right before COVID. Worked my first year. The day I hit my year mark, it's the first time I got pulled off my floor, and they sent me to medical floor, which I was a little nervous about. Never worked another floor with people I didn't know. And then halfway through the report, they were like, "Stop what you're doing. The nursing office said they want to talk to you." This is the week the COVID floor was opening up, and I was like, I already know where that conversation was going. Go down to the nursing office, and they're like, "Hey, so we need people to work the COVID floor. Are you okay with that?" Obviously, I was. I didn't have kids or family at the time, so it was like, it wasn't matter. I ain't got nothing to lose. Went up there, loved it. I mean, it was terrifying. There's a lot going on, but like the quickness that you learn stuff when you're in the trenches.
It's like trial by fire type thing. Which I graduated right maybe like a year after COVID. So it was still, kind of scary, kind of new. Nobody really knew like how to combat this, but a lot of the uncertainties and things like that had definitely died down. It was still scary, but it wasn't as bad. So it definitely, like you said, they just kind of throw you out there and you sink or swim. You either learned it or you didn't.
Did. And see, prior to that, all my experience was just cardiac telemetry, CV stuff, not CV surgery, but I worked on the floor. I worked as primarily like vascular surgeons, and then all the cardiologist stuff. But going up there, it was terrifying. Like, I mean, everybody was getting intubated, put on a ventilator. Had no experience with any of that, but our COVID ICU was ran by all of our ICU nurses, and they were some gangsters. Now I seen the other side of doing stuff where basically the nurses ran everything. Like, they were thinking like the doctors, because that's evidently how they did in that unit. And I'd never worked step down. All I'd worked is cardiac, and I don't know if you know anything about cardiologists, which I know you do, but for y'all listening, if y'all never had the pleasure of dealing with cardiologists or vascular surgeons, is they like their stuff very cookie cutter. They don't like things branching out.
Type A personalities. They like everything set how it is. They don't want any kind of.
They don't want you thinking for yourself. Yeah. They want to leave this sheet of paper, do this stuff in order, and everything will work out. And when it doesn't, somehow, I don't know. come unhinged.
They're very OCD. Like probably not diagnosed. Maybe half of them are, but they're very OCD and they like their things done the way they like them done.
And that's fair.
But
But to that extent, though, like that's why I had a hard time transitioning initially, because to that degree, all those patients did come out very cookie cutter. There is very rarely that doing stuff their method that things went askew. So there wasn't a lot of room left open for critical thinking. Now, granted, it was a merge between step down and medical. The telemetry unit I worked on, we could take
certain vasoactives.
Yeah, we could take like dopamine, dobutamine, milrinone, nitro, and titrate them. But unlike, step down the ICU, we didn't have the monitors on the wall. We just had the little telepacks and had to run to the nurse's station to see what their heart was doing, or have another nurse, somebody else at the nurse's station watching the monitors, and have them on the phone so that they could tell you what was happening while you were giving, like, pushing cards in them or something. Some wild, but I don't know. COVID is a fever dream.
And I know what you mean. Like some of those ICU nurses, cowboys.
Yeah,
they are gangsters. They will save your life in a heartbeat, but they don't think twice about it. Like it's embedded in them. It's in their
seeing
blood.
them call out the doctors threw me off, because I'm like, you didn't do that with the cardiologist,
Right?
I mean, you did. Like, you would call them, but not in the way they were doing it. You were trying to be as respectful as possible, hoping you didn't catch them in a bad mood. But during COVID, the ICU nurses that were training us to run the COVID ICU, man, they would get in screaming matches with them doctors and make them feel about this big, just small as can be.
I think that's a big stigma too, is outsiders looking in. Like they think doctors are our bosses when it's not the case. Like at the end of the day, we're all coworkers. We're all part of a team, and I love a lot of the doctors that I work with. But when they start, thinking that they are above us in either power or authority and whatnot, that's not the case. And I feel like that's a big misunderstanding. People don't realize, like, hey, we're part of a team here in, trying to achieve a better outcome for this patient. You're not my boss. I don't have to meet your quotas, things like that. We need to work together instead of causing when you get egos and things like that involved, and that's what I feel like 90% of the time it is.
Yeah,
It's a big ego, and it can cause problems. But I think that's actually how we met.
So I worked the COVID floor from the week it opened till the week it closed. Eventually transferred to the floor to be a full-time employee up there, and then it shut down, and they had to figure out what they wanted to do with us. It was either stay on that floor, and it was going to become a neuro unit, which I did not want to work full-time on just a neuro floor, or they gave me the option to transfer the step down, which I'd never worked, but given if you can work COVID ICU, step downs just about the same. Granted, I don't know how step down is at y'all's hospitals, but anyways, they sent us a step down after COVID shut down, and that was where Braden was working at the time. So
as a student, keep in mind, as a student, I remember the night we met. It was
that was before COVID even shut down.
I think you just got pulled that night because we were short. But I was working as a student, and I was with another nurse at the time, and Ryan had got pulled down there, and it was Christmas Eve.
Yep.
We had Christmas music, Christmas lights, everybody's festive. That was probably one of the worst nights of my life.
It was. I had trauma. That was what I associated step down with for the next year after that. So and this was about halfway through COVID, mind you. Yeah, that was rough. We'll tell the story as to why that night was rough on another episode. Might even have the nurse that was involved with why that night was so rough on as a guest one day, because she would feel like get a kick out of this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's her story to tell. But
I remember after that, I didn't see Ryan for like a year straight because he would not.
I was terrified. I told him if I went to clock in and it showed that I was going to that floor on on the time clock, I was like turning around and going home, like I wasn't doing it. I eventually got over that, but trauma.
That was not a very holly jolly night.
Which is saying a lot considering how many of those same events we had on the COVID floor in one shift. Why that frazzled me so much, but I guess it's because on COVID they were all so sick. You were expecting that to happen. On step down,
You
they're
don't
halfway. You
expect
just
it,
thinking they're going to
right?
get better, and then that happens.
And I feel like I don't know how it is everywhere, but on this specific floor, they were either great, they could go home the next day, or they were inches away from knocking on heaven's gate, and there was no in between.
Nah, they were either med surge patients waiting to discharge, or they needed to be in ICU 4 days ago.
Right. But not, during COVID too, that we just didn't have room.
No,
Didn't have room. So a lot of times we took a lot of the overflow. But I would say after that, we had several events working together, working step down. This is, not ICU. This is step down to the ICU where anybody would be scared off. So I would think that, after after that Christmas Eve, it kind of knocked it out, kind of opened the gate for you, and you're like, okay, I can do this.
hadn't worked Christmas Eve since.
Right. Any holidays,
I work Christmas Day, but I will not work Christmas Eve.
nurses aren't superstitious, but we're a little stitious. So holidays, full moons is a big one.
Oh yeah,
Anything like that, just something working on your birthday, it's a bad idea.
yeah.
So
And this is supposed to be the last year I had to work on my birthday. Because
did you call in?
nah, we worked 7 on 7 off. No, I worked it.
Mm.
But I mean, like since we worked 7 on 7 off, like you work your birthday basically for 7 years straight, and then you get it's off for 7 years. So this year, next coming year, it'll be the day we got work off that my birthday falls on, so I won't have to like work that night.
You like working 7 on 7 off?
It sounded a lot better on paper. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know if you are nursing students considering it. I did it because that's what my parents did, or my mom. She worked 7 on 7 off for years, and she was a robot. Like she'd work a 12-hour shift. On that 7th day, we would leave as soon as she got home to go on a vacation. She would drive another 8-9 hours to the beach right after working off, and just never seemed phased by it. So I was like, it must be easy. No, my mom was just a savage,
Just a beast.
like an absolute beast. I just didn't realize that. Now I see how hard it was, and it's just more impressive seeing how easy she made it look.
I mean, I see the pros and cons of it. Like you work 7 days and then you get a week off, so you pretty much don't have to take off time for vacation. Just plan
Yeah.
around it. But at the same time, those 7 days on are killer.
Well, especially when you never worked night shift before. You first come to night shift, it's like a shock to your body. I know it took me like a year, if not, for my body to adjust to working nights. I mean, say like I drove a good little 30-minute drive at the time. I'd wake up hearing IV pumps in my sleep, and it'd be like 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, not 2 o'clock in the morning. It'd be 2 p.m.
It'd be 2 o'clock in the morning for us.
Yeah,
'cause we're asleep
our
every day.
equivalent. It'd be 2 p.m. There's light coming in through my window, and my brain registered it as 2 a.m. for some reason. And I'm like, I'm late for work. Like I done missed half my shift. I done jump in the shower real quick. I'm in the car before I realize the sun's still out. Oh man, I still got 2 more hours to sleep.
Oh, dude, it's even worse. Like if you have blackout curtains up, and so you don't know what time it is outside.
Yeah.
And you just happen to look at your clock, and if you don't have it set to like military time or whatever, it just says 2, and you automatically assume the worst.
Yep.
Which has happened to me a few times working night shift. After a while, your body can't take it. But here we are, still trucking on.
Now, working night shift though, 7 on 7 off, or if you're one of the lucky people that can self-schedule 3-1-3 7 off is the only way to do it.
So like work 3, off a day in the middle, and then work another 3.
Yeah, and then have 7 off.
Right.
But because day shift does 3-1-3, but they
have to come
they
back.
they're off 3, work 1, off 3, then work 3, off 1,
Oh,
work
that
3.
would get on
But
my
coming in
nerves.
on that island day, I just couldn't do that. Especially I know of like 2 or 3 people where we work that work on nights, work the 2-3 split. How do you do that on nights? You never get more than a day or 2 off, and it takes a day or 2
To recover.
to like change back to days so you can actually get stuff done on your week off. I don't know. Like, and he's been doing it for years. It's just built different.
I did work at one facility where we did that, and I hated it so much. I hated it because like you said, that one of your days is wasted, just trying to recover, and then the next day, I mean, you're still not
Quite right.
Yeah, you're still like just moping around, so you can't even get anything done.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hopefully, wherever people want to go and wherever they want to work, they can find the schedule that works for them. This is just purely for bedside, working in an acute care facility.
Yeah.
It's obviously not going to be like this if you work in a clinic or anything like that. This is purely just 12-hour shifts.
Granted, if y'all haven't caught on, that's going to be a lot of where the discussions in this podcast come from is bedside related. Now we do plan on having people from all disciplines in the hospital, like respiratory, CNAs, RNs,
Radiology.
LPNs, radiology, doctors, if we can. Doubt anybody comes
If they've
on.
got time.
If they feel froggy enough to do it. But it's all more or less going to seem to be bedside driven. That's where most of our experience come from. I mean, even the name, the night shift report, since you're not really giving report like in the same manner.
Right.
If you're working at a clinic, that's where a lot of it comes from. But we want to cater to everybody. We want everybody to be able to get some entertainment from the stories we tell, not just the hospital staff, not just
Right.
bedside nurses, because I want everybody to.
In any stage of their career, whether it be a student going into healthcare to pros who have been in it for 20 years, about to retire.
Yep. I mean, this is maybe y'all can learn and live through our trauma rather than having to experience some of these things yourselves.
Right.
We're hoping we can teach y'all a few things, just giving y'all some stories of things we've experienced, things we've seen. Yeah, that way.
I feel like most of it's going to be what not to do instead of what to do.
And some what if scenarios.
Which if anybody, if you want to hear us talk about something or explain something or our experience with something, let us know in the comments. We definitely check those. You can check us out on the website too.
At thenightshiftreport.com. Sign up, make you an account, and then we have there's a tab where you can pull up and submit stories. Yeah, so y'all might enjoy that. We'll read them live, or not say live, we'll read them on air, and y'all see them in the videos. We'll give our responses to them.
We also have a Instagram, TikTok, all the things. We try to film a couple skits every now and then. Try to keep them posted, keep people engaged. But like I said, just let us know what you want to see.
And all of our social medias, YouTube, the podcast, Instagram, TikTok, it's all under the same name, The Night Shift Report. That's if y'all are looking for any of our other social medias. Also, there's links to all of it on our website on the About Us page. You can find our YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Website's kind of a collect all. If y'all have any recommendations for things y'all want to see added to the website or things y'all want us to do on the podcast, again, just reach out to us, submit it to us.
Keep in mind, please do not ask us for medical advice because we are not
that's not
providers.
That's not what this is about.
We are nurses. We are not physicians. We cannot legally provide any kind of advice to you about your foot wart or whatever you have. Please don't send us pictures or do whatever. I don't care. Just keep that in mind.
This is stories, rants, and chaos from Healthcare's Night Crew.
If you think you should go to the clinic, go to the clinic. Okay. I'm gonna tell you like I tell all my family members, go to the doctor. Okay. Because legally we cannot. That's out of our scope of practice, and we're not even clocked in.
Yeah.
So
We ain't trying to lose our license. We work way too hard to get it.
mm-hmm.
I know most of y'all can probably relate when half your family sits there asking y'all become the family doctor because y'all are the first one to go in healthcare in your family, and everybody thinks you're now a doctor. So they're like
dude,
all asking
it's
questions.
the worst when you're in nursing school too.
Oh yeah, when you know the least,
Mm-hmm.
people ask you the most.
Right. Yeah. Like we live in an age where you got ChatGPT, Google, and granted, you Google something and you're liable to get diagnosed with like some rare terminal disease, but you would probably get more out of that than asking a nursing student who just learned how to take a blood pressure and to make a bed. So if you need a bed bath or you need me to fold the little triangles in the corner of the bed like we had to learn how to do, I'm your guy. But don't ask me about your scaly rash on your back that you've had for 2 years. I don't know anything about it.
And ain't trying to catch nothing.
Nope. I will not touch you, look at you, be in the same room as you.
Absolutely.
So hopefully they've learned now. My family doesn't pester me as bad, but they still, from time to time, they say, "Hey, can you look at this?"
So we kind of talked over a little bit about why we started this podcast, and we want to educate and entertain. A little bit of both, not always both at the same time. Could
be both at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, the educational bits, mainly we want to be entertaining also, but sometimes we're just pure entertainment. Just want y'all to get some chuckles, maybe keep y'all, if you're listening and not watching us on YouTube, then maybe it's just something you're listening to get you to work on your drive to and from work, keep you awake. I mean, you won't have no issue when you at work getting beat up, but
physically assaulted.
Yeah. Just keep in mind, folks, it's not like you see on Grey's Anatomy.
No. Well, to an extent, like the medicine part is not Grey's Anatomy. The drama part
can be
exactly to the T like Grey's Anatomy, and we'll get into that later on. But is there some tea to spill?
Absolutely. If y'all can see me glancing down at my iPad, I just got a bullet point list of things. Trying to keep us on task for this first episode because we'll get better at this as we get used to filming. But for now, we're trying to keep it on a schedule. That way we don't keep y'all for too long, over talk. Also, if y'all like this, let us know if y'all want longer form content. We're going to start out trying to film maybe 30-ish minute episodes. If y'all want longer, let us know and we'll start filming longer. If y'all want shorter, let us know that too. We can whip out some shorter form content. I mean, not to the degree of like our TikToks and things like that, but we can come up with like maybe 15-minute episodes, or if y'all want an hour, we can go that route too. Just depends on what y'all want. But let us know.
Longer because I mean, if they haven't already, if they can't tell, we're both attention deficit, so we can go on a rant for however long.
Our side quest can keep the conversation going forever.
Yeah, side quests, we just get lost in the sauce, man.
Just a little idea of what to expect, episodes to come. So we plan on covering a lot of things. Obviously, a lot of them are going to be shift stories. Things happen to us that might be a little more, that might hit home a little more for night shift people, but all the same will be relevant to day shift too, most of them anyways. And unless we're referring to doctors not being there because y'all have a luxury we don't. No, I'm not starting to.
Which night shift has its perks and cons.
Yeah,
like that is a con. Like a pro is there's not as many people there, so it's not as crowded. You have to deal with all these people asking 10 million questions. You can get done what you need to get done, but at the same time, a major con is that people aren't there that you need to be there. So like doctors aren't there just at a hand's grab away. So if you need something, you either got to get by or if it's emergent enough, call them and wake them up, which I don't mind doing, but it's part of the job. they're just. I wouldn't want to get woken up at 2 a.m. either, and
Just
I might be a little
understand
groggy.
there's 4 doctors basically total covering 500 patients, 2 of which are residents.
Right.
And then you got 2 nurse practitioners, which praise God for our nurse practitioners. We wouldn't have made it this far through night shifts without them. If they happen to start watching this, they know who they are. They
better.
Incredible, right?
Yeah, because it got to the point where we was calling them every single night, and it was by the end of it, they knew us on a first name basis. We're we're Facebook friends level, so it's deep, and that's a big thing of working night shift too, man. You're gonna make some friends.
Absolutely, there's some bonds for life. Not that you want on day shift, but it's just not the same.
They might be trauma bonds, but
yeah, absolutely. But so you'll hear some stories. We'll cover different topics, staffing, tips if you are a new grad planning on going the night shift to kind of help adjust. We'll cover burnout. We're going to have lots of story times, especially anytime we have a host on. We'll go through those. We plan on starting the Code Brown Chronicles when we have nursing assistants on and kind of discuss some of those because I think some of our Code Brown stories y'all get a real kick out of. I know if you're in nursing school, you might not understand how many different ways somebody can blow the bed out, but just know there's quite a few. A lot of things you just don't realize you didn't know until you walk in and it's everywhere and they're finger painting, but it's okay. We're going to make it through this together. But that's just some ideas of things you will be hearing throughout the episodes. You'll get a better idea as the episodes come because, again, we're just kind of winging this starting out. We don't have just a super tight schedule or anything that we're sticking to. We're going to try to put out. Our plan is eventually 1 episode a week, but we might start out just doing 1 episode a month just because as it stands, we're still both working full-time jobs.
We're still new to the podcasting scene too.
Doesn't come by as easy for us.
Right. Just trying to figure out the ins and outs of it and getting gear that we need. And this is just bare bones set up, more of a test pilot to what can we do better and how we need to format things.
Having to use my wife's patio furniture just to get a setup going here. We do plan on eventually getting a better scene. Yeah, but I mean, we've come a long ways just in the last month, getting all this equipment in, getting the camera in. If y'all are interested in any behind the scenes, we say that a lot. Just drop a comment in the comment section, and we'll take it into consideration. Let's see. What else?
And any advice, like he said too, for nursing students, new grads coming to night shift, like our go bags for when we do go to work, what we take with us, what we do, things like that. Just let us know.
And this all will help support us make more episodes. Like, comment, and subscribe. Doing all 3 of those helps us know you like what we're doing, you're enjoying the content, want us to make more.
And if you're listening right now or watching on YouTube, drop a comment and tell us what you do, what's your specialty,
how long you been a nurse,
or RT or doctor or whatever. If you work in healthcare, what are your dreams? How far do you expect to go? Things like that. Just talk to us.
Are you a high school student just about to graduate, wondering if nursing is a career for you? The answer is no.
If so, you might be entitled for compensation.
Right. You might have some trauma that you need to see a therapist about. We don't know. Just give us some shout outs. In the comments, let us know what you want, and we'll be sure to discuss it. I guess we could jump to maybe one first, like real topic.
All right.
I don't know which one you want to start out with.
We could. I mean, something recently that just came up is I've been seeing it all over Instagram. So apparently, someone had a clogged central line, midline, some kind of intravenous access, and it was clogged and couldn't push or pull anything through it. So they thought of the bright idea to push Pepsi Cola through it because they thought it would declog it. What do you think about that?
I think it's scary. Some of the people that made it through nursing school,
Oh, it's terrifying.
like,
As much as I struggled,
yes, and then it's hard to believe that some of these people, like, you had no common sense if you thought that was okay. Pepsi's not sterile. If you can spill it on your floor and it eats away what you spilled it on the floor, maybe it shouldn't be going straight IV. Not that we all haven't made the joke about getting a Mountain Dew IV bag to get us through a shift, but that was purely a joke. And if they didn't understand that,
well, I want to know. I have so many questions. So, number one, did you not ask anybody about this at all?
we could have just gotten an empty IV syringe, 10 mil, and put Pepsi in it.
I think that's exactly what they did. But you got to think, like, with them drawing it up, it's fizzing away in the syringe. Did the thought not cross their mind?
Never crossed their mind that maybe this shouldn't.
I wouldn't want somebody doing this to me.
But hearing that there was no complications from it is what really got me.
That's what blows my mind.
So you're saying it's a possibility?
No, and
don't.
Please do not
do this.
But thank God, nothing came of the patient at all. No adverse reactions or effects.
Just from
whatsoever.
what we've heard, obviously we don't have we just see the news stories.
Right, and we have I have a snippet of the
article or
the case, whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and we'll throw that up so people can read. You can pause and read it. But that is wild. Like, first of all, we've always been taught, like, in certain circumstances, and you have to get an okay for it, technically, that you can use Coca-Cola in like a peg tube, right?
Yeah, a feeding
tube, a enterogastric tube.
And think about why it works to unclog a feeding tube, because it's breaking down whatever plug is in the line.
It is so fizzy and acidic.
Because it's acidic and it is breaking down clots of food or clots of medicine. Potassium,
Potassium's peg tubes, no go. Potassium's and peg tubes,
if your facility ain't on that liquid potassium route for y'all's peg tubes, you need to find a new facility first off, because that was the bane of my existence before our facility got the liquid potassium.
You remember? Okay, so we had so much trouble with potassium and peg tubes that Ryan actually bought
the Temu blender,
a Temu brand portable blender.
Yeah, like the ones for your protein shakes. You can like drink it straight out it like blends it in the cup. I got one of those just to mix the potassium in, because it would not dissolve past those tiny little chunks.
And these are 20 mil equivalent, right? 20 mil equivalent pills, which are ginormous pills.
And there's two of them. 9 times out of 10, it's a 40 mil equivalent dose.
And I think it actually broke the blender.
Us trying to blend working.
So imagine just crushing it manually and pushing it through a peg tube. It's like concrete. I mean, it just stays there. And you can use Coke.
It'll break easy once you put it in the crusher, but like it turns to powder instantly, but the like granules of the powder it turns into are also kind of large enough that they stick together when you go to flush them down a feeding tube.
All right. It's like mixing concrete pretty much.
But as we were saying, it's the reason you're using it for a feeding tube is because it's acidic and will eat away whatever is in clogged up in the feeding tube. Why somebody thought that's okay to put
straight into your veins.
Straight into your veins.
Straight into your bloodstream. Go into your heart.
I was going to make a joke there, but it would have been a little insensitive.
We'll wait till... let's keep it mild for here.
Let's start them off easy.
Yeah. But why Pepsi? Why not Coke? Why not Mountain Dew?
Coke is what they taught us when I was starting out. I never heard of Pepsi. Granted, I mean, I get it. Any cola, I guess, is the thought process there, but that's not the way it's explained.
From this point of thinking, if they're able to do that, why not just go straight to the max? Just buy some Drano. I mean,
right? Again, don't do this.
Please, jokes, satire.
There will be disclaimers before and after every episode. Please do not do anything. We're not suggesting you do these things.
This is for purely entertainment purposes only, not meant to be educational, nor
in this
advice.
instance.
But Yeah, because I mean, Drano's the clog buster. I mean, with that mentality that they got.
That, I mean, if you can put it in their stomach, you can put it through their veins. But that's my point. Like, how that person with that little common sense made it through nursing school. But I guess it stands. All nursing school seems to be about is, can you pass a test?
Right.
One, I mean, obviously you pass your nursing school test, but it's about not necessarily teaching you how to be a nurse by any stretch of the imagination. It's all about teaching you how to pass the NCLEX, which
And
is hard.
I'll die on that hill. That all like I learned a lot in nurse school, but as far as on the job training wise, did not learn a thing. I didn't learn, that like you said, it stresses to the point of passing your boards, which I feel like most schools do because obviously they get money. Don't they get money for how many people pass or something
I
like
don't know if
that?
they get money. It's like their percentages are all that matter to them.
Right. And
Like, it probably affects their,
accreditation.
yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, nothing beats real world experience.
Nah, you pass nursing school, not knowing nothing, basically. You learn all that on the job, which is why orientation is several months long, not 4 days like it was when you hired on at, the local
I think
retail
that's the
store.
minimum is like what, 3 months?
Yeah, and
Minimum.
that's for your standard med surg floor. Sometimes it's longer if you're on a specialty.
I think it's about 4. It's about 8 weeks for med surg, and I think it's about 12 if you specialize.
Yeah.
Which this is bedside acute care. Obviously things are going to be different in different hospitals and different states and different facilities. But for us, it was an extended period of time where we were paired with a nurse and they watched over us. They were pretty much our guardian angel to make sure we didn't F up.
And lose our license.
Right.
Like, and theirs too, for that matter.
Right. Because
Because you screw up, like the insulin joke,
oh, yeah.
giving
yeah.
1 meal instead of 1 unit. That's the kind of mess up that kind of screw up where you lose your you might lose your license, you might have lost your preceptor's license.
Right. Because obviously they're there to
Watch over you.
right. They're like a filter. Like you're doing all these nursing things, and they're there to catch any bad habits, catch you from doing something wrong, teach you the right way to do things,
But then
etc.
as you're getting more experience, ideally they let you do more and more on your own. They still watch you to an extent, but they're kind of backing off toward the end of your orientation. So like the less they're hounding over you, hovering over you like a helicopter parent. So like they've let you've built a little trust with them. They let you go give some medicine real quick on your own, and you lose your job and you make them lose theirs because you just ruin that trust.
And I mean, it takes a while to get to that point, and I feel like a lot of times just because a preceptor lets a nurse student or a new grad nurse go on their own, it'll be something benign. They start out with real benign tasks, like something easy, like
Go empty that urinal.
right, or go, I don't know,
Bath.
give this patient a pillow, go take them, things
Yeah.
like that, and they work their way up.
Things
and,
if you forget, they're not gonna die.
and number one, it obviously minimizes the risk for error there, but number two, it's also just because they're not with you doesn't mean they're not actually teaching you something. And I've told any students that I've had, I'm not. It's not because I'm lazy that I'm going with you. It's because I want you to build confidence, and I feel like that's where a lot of errors do arise. It's from one of two things: either you're not confident enough and you're terrified and you're liable to make mistakes, or you're overly confident and you think you can do no wrong.
Get careless.
Right, you get careless and you make a simple mistake that could turn out to be something major.
When I train new hires, new grads, I mean, I give them that leeway and go on their own, or I want them to feel like they're on their own. They're usually not. I'm outside the door listening, watching through like patient's window, like they have from out in the hall at our facility.
You still have eyes on them.
Like we still watching them, but we don't want them to quite realize that. because we want them to start building the confidence, feeling like they're able to do this without us hounding over them. But again, it's our license that's on the line too.
We want to make it a good learning environment, but at the same time, it's also very controlled.
Yeah, I mean, it's people's lives you're messing with, and it also depends on the new grad.
Right, and some people pick up things faster than
Yeah,
others,
absolutely,
and
and that's just
everybody
how this
operates at
life.
their own speed.
We're not hounding and we're not roasting yet. Those episodes come, but
Right.
and it won't be grouping everybody together. We'll probably have the people on that we were roasting when we were training them, because I mean the people you train eventually they're your colleagues right off the bat, because you're helping them learn, but you're not their boss the way you might feel like you are, or some of y'all if y'all have ego problems. But
I don't know, man. Like I obviously me training new people. I know that we're colleagues, we're on the same level, but as a new grad being trained by a preceptor, like I was a nurse. My preceptor was a nurse pro max. Like
yeah,
she knew everything under the
yeah,
sun. And so like even after a year or two on my belt, like I would still call her. She'd be working in a different department. She done transferred, and I'd still call her, be like, "Hey, this is going on. What do I do?"
right.
And like you know what to do. You just need that assurance. You just need that affirmation. But Pepsi through a midline. I don't know that.
Red flag.
I don't know that anybody that doesn't have a medical background would do that.
No, like
They might would want to try.
maybe I'm just not, because I know plenty of y'all are probably gonna argue like give them a break, but that could have very just as easily killed that patient.
And where was there no other coworkers around, and why did it get this far? It's like
How did this employee make it through orientation without having one of these royal screw ups? They
right.
didn't. Is this just an intrusive thought they let win? They never spoke this intrusive thought out loud or something? Like, there's no way you just randomly thought this was okay.
Right. And
The whole time you were walking to the vending machine to get said Pepsi and coming back, it never once crossed your mind.
or even
That's a
to
red
ask
flag.
somebody, and like my biggest thing is if you don't know, even if you do know, ask
Yeah.
somebody.
That's one thing for those of you nursing students and new grads, that never goes away. Like, to this day, we still question certain things we do, and we just sit there and talk it through at the nursing station. I mean, you think, is this what I should be doing? What would y'all do in this situation? And you just have that,
It'll be over stuff that we've done a million times.
yeah, it just maybe something about this situation. We'll say when you're questioning things you've done a million times out of the blue, that's usually because you got a gut feeling telling you something's not right. You're just not recognizing that that's what that is right away. And I don't mean about the way you're doing it. I mean, it's usually I'm referring to like something's going on with that patient that makes you feel like something's not right, not the way you've been doing something. You're just,
And that goes back into like nursing school versus real life. Nothing is ever textbook.
no, it's not a utopian hospital in the real world. It's a dystopian hospital. All of them. It's just not realistic because people aren't textbook. In nursing school, you're dealing with people that go through the disease process in order every time. Where in real life, you never almost ever have that go exactly perfectly textbook in our experience. I mean, well, again, we're not doctors, but it hardly ever goes. The people we're seeing at the hospital, especially on the units we're working, are typically the ones that everything is went atypical, like completely out of the ordinary, not your standard, which is why it wasn't able to be treated before them coming to the hospital.
I feel like the only ones that are typical are cardiology, because that I feel like that's why they're so, list based and want things done a certain way, because cardiology is very cookie cutter. Like you're going 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the same exact outcome from this exact same either pathophysiology of what's going on or whatever procedure they had done. It always 9 times out of 10 goes the same. And so I feel like that's why, going back to our previous point, that's why they're like that, is because they know the outcome if you do it this way. But I guess that's the difference between surgical and medical. Surgical is very cookie cutter. Medical is very yeehaw, let's get it. Whatever happens, happens.
Yep.
And we'll just go with the punches, I guess. But
That's why nurses that straddle the line, working both levels. Like, I mean, not that we don't get surgery on medical floors or step down, but like the nurses who work like primarily surgical units and pick up on medical too, like they go back and forth constantly, are a different breed.
Which I like my medical more than I do my surgical.
Oh, I do too.
I love my medical. It's like you're like a detective trying to figure out what's going on.
But the one, like the nurses who started out as new grads on a surgical unit, whether it be like a recovery the post-op floor, like they're staying a night or two and then they're getting home. If they've never experienced anything else, they tend to almost get that mindset like their doctors have. Like they become very type A. They want everything done exactly like it's supposed to go.
But I feel like that limits your critical thinking
Yeah.
skills. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not put in the position very often where you have to
think outside the box.
Not always, and there's exceptions to this. Like y'all's hospital may be different. We're just referring to, I guess, more or less our experience with the different hospitals that we've worked at. But it seemed to be something that kind of did go through. I mean, is this constant? I've noticed at different places seems to be like surgeons tend to be very cookie cutter. Their nurses that only know surgery tend to be very cookie cutter people. They want things to go.
And they go down to they go in depth, like down to how even the surgeon, that certain specific surgeon wants things done.
Yeah.
Not just that specialty, but that specific person who did the procedure or who is the attending over them. They know exactly what they like, what they want, how they want it done.
Like ice packs.
Yes.
Our surgeons,
yes.
There's different surgeons, and we have ice packs like you're supposed to make them the normal method. We have pre-made like Velcro ice packs that
you just throw the ice in.
Supplies, whatever your central supply place is in the hospital, and it's like
it's some kind of fabric, and then it's got the clamp, the fold clamp,
and then it kind of has ties on it, so you can like wrap it and make it stay on the extremity or wherever you happen to put it.
Some of them like that. Some of them just want you to do the old-fashioned.
A lot of them want you to get the homemade ones that we call it, the bio bags. Just small little red Ziplocs. You fill it full of ice. You stick it in a pillowcase so there's another barrier and you're not giving everybody freezer burn. And then oftentimes even put a towel or a hand towel in between that and the patient. And they prefer, a lot of them prefer that. There's a lot more ice that fits in it. I guess that maybe in it
bigger is easier to form.
It conforms a little better to the area. They prefer that. But you get those two confused. Like which doctor likes which, you get those two backwards, and one walks in, you got the wrong type of ice pack, and now you're
cooked.
You're cooked, getting screamed at, just because.
Not necessarily scream. Most of the time, obviously.
Most of the time, they just.
It's just
it makes annoyance. You feel stupid in the moment because you're like, man, I know I've been working. I've dealt with this doctor for 4 years now. Has always wanted it this way. How did I forget that he was not the one that wanted them done that way? It's just one of those things.
The thing about working night shift though is you very rarely have to deal with them because they come in after we leave.
And many of those have residents.
Right. God love them.
Right. They're a little more down to earth. Some of them a lot more. But anyways, I guess we'll wrap this episode up for now. We have plenty of subjects and topics to talk on the next several episodes. But thank y'all for watching. If y'all have made it this far.
Thank you for listening. If you're not watching, let us know what you want to hear or see next.
Give us some ideas.
Yep.
Give us some stories. Again, submit them on the website. It sends them to our email. We'll read those on air if you want us to. If you want us to talk about them but not like discuss them on air, just put that in, type that in. with the first.
Yeah, just say like you
in your comment, like not for video.
Or want to remain anonymous.
Yeah, that's absolutely
Things like
fine.
that.
We get it.
We'll talk about whatever, from what we take to work to what kind of scrubs we wear to our favorite shoes to some of the best friends we've made and the stories we've made along the way. Just whatever you want to see, whatever you want to hear. We're just glad. We're just tickled to death to even have anybody here on
Yeah.
episode 1. So if you've made it this far, thank you. We love you.
Absolutely. Just keep an eye out for episode 2. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see y'all next time.
Till then, stay caffeinated, stay frosty, stay awake.